So what's changed for you, and what's the same from years ago to now in the new episodes?
I find it a lot harder to work through the night. I don't know what's changed. It's some of it's harder and some of it's easier. The hours are harder. The acting is easier. I think we're all better. We've done a lot of work since we started that show. A lot of that work was that show. We got better. I can look at, I don't, but I could look at like the first season of The X-Files as opposed to the 7th or 8th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and I see different actors. When I'm talking about Jillian and I. So that just continued on afterwards. We both, I believe, have gotten better. So that's kind of fun to bring that to the same characters. Bring the ability to access maybe more than we could have back then.
As your kids are older, are you excited they're going to get to see it live?
No, you know, I'm not one of those parents that like. I'm proud of my kids. I don't need them to be proud of me.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they can't watch Californication. I'm glad they can watch it, so that's good. But yeah, I want them to be proud of themselves, and Dad's okay.
Yeah.
Dad's got enough.
Now that you're back playing Mulder, and you played him obviously during the first run of the X-Files, how protective have you become of that character now that you're back?
I'm very protective of the character. I feel like I'm the caretaker of that guy. So, there are times when we get a script and I'll talk to Chris or whoever wrote the script and I'll say, this doesn't sound right, this doesn't feel right. Stuff like that. But that's, at this point, it's really instinctive and intuitive. But that's, every actor is like that. Every actor is gonna feel that way. And then Jillian and I kind of, when we have a scene together, we're both kind of caretaking of our points of view. And it can get a little tricky, but that's the fun part as well.
How wrong did it feel to kick that poster in half? I feel like that's the big moment. That was the biggest reaction in the room. I feel like that's the moment people are going to really take away from that episode.
Yeah, well, this will give you an insight into how different it is to do a show as opposed to see a show. I felt nothing about doing it. All I wanted was for it to rip correctly. And how many posters do I have a shot at ripping correctly? So I had no thought about kicking the actual sacred poster. Just like, let's fucking get it right, because we're going to run out of posters, and then it's going to look like shit, and then we're going to feel bad. So I generally, maybe when I read it, I thought, oh, nice move, nice writing, nice idea. Chris wrote that part. Really, on the day, I was like, oh, yeah, we got to make sure this thing works.
Building on that, obviously, X-Files is kind of a cult, a religion to a lot of people. How hard is it to process that as the actor who just has to hit his marks or kick that poster and to have all this other stuff?
I don't process it. I don't think about it. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't occur to me.
Really?
How has this show affected you?
It doesn't. I mean, it's affected my life in that it started my career. It gave me many opportunities. It gave me a lot of money. It gave me, it's all great things. Most of all, it gave me the opportunity to go to work every day and act for 14 hours a day for 8 years. So I got to create my own acting school for myself.
Are you happy to start again or be back?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm always happy to work. I like working. I like, yes, I'm happy to do it. I enjoy the people that I work with, and I think the show's great. I couldn't be prouder of the entire show, from the first season to what we've done now. So there's so much of it that I'm grateful for, but I don't think of it. It's such an interior thing for me. It's like if you play a sport, at some point you stop thinking about hitting a tennis ball. You just hit the tennis ball. So I just do the X-Files. I don't think about it.
Is there anything though that you find challenging still that we should think
Yes,
about?
it's all challenging. I mean, it's challenging. I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't challenging. It's to come back at whatever age I am now, 54 when we started that one, and to go, okay, what's 54-year-old Mulder? He's not 30-year-old. That's gross. You know? And yet, he's not a different guy. So now we're kind of in this place where we're all wondering, like, yeah, he's kind of the same as him. That's challenging because it's not, I can't just go, okay, now I just wear black and I've got a French accent. You know, I've got to make changes, but they can't be that obvious. And that's challenging and interesting to an actor.
How do you look back at your decision of not being in the last seasons?
I was just not in the last season. I'm fine with it. You okay with it?
Yes, it was your choice.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
So what you feel when you see all around here people dressed like Mulder and Scully and all the excitement and all from the fans?
Can I look at any guy in a suit and say he's dressed like Mulder?
No, but they have the sign and everything.
I'm walking around New York. I'm like, look at all these dudes. I'm down on Wall Street. They're all dressed like Mulder. Jesus, you guys are big fans.
Usually do more than that.
Lots of X-Files.
The main stage today, just a few minutes ago.
There's a lot of Thor's hammers out there. I don't know. It's nice. It's nice that people love the show. I mean, I don't know how else to put it without sounding like an idiot, or without sounding ungrateful, because I am grateful. It's just, you know, without people still being interested, we wouldn't have gotten to do these six, you know. So I'm grateful for that. It's amazing to me that you know, we kind of ended the show right before, you know, phones and internet happened, and yet somehow we've kind of created a life in this internet world. And I don't know how that happened. We weren't really around for that.
Well, how amazing is it to you that so many of these fans are so young now? It's attracted this whole new audience that not a lot of shows manage to do.
And across the generations as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that happens because I haven't been able to get my kids to watch it. So I don't know how anybody gets their kids to watch it. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. A lot of people have very nostalgic feelings for it. I mean, I live here in New York, and there's a TV station called it's called Me TV, and it shows programming from the 70s. And I sometimes watch it because that's nostalgic to me. But I want it to be more than that. You know, that's not why we just did these six. You know, it has to be more than just an exercise in nostalgia. And I think we've made, you know, another good show, so another good six shows. So
and you're gonna hope it continues past six potentially.
I mean, you know, I try not to hope. If the opportunity presents itself, and you know, a lot of it depends on Chris. If he thinks there's stories to tell, or if we can sit down and figure out a way to go. It's my impression that the frame of the show is so very flexible that we could tell stories for a long, long time.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm probably being disingenuous when I say that I hope there are stories to tell. I'm sure there are. It's just a question of Chris wanting to, Jillian wanting to, and me wanting to, and of us all getting together in the same space to do it. You know, it took us a long time to do that.
Yeah.
So I hope. I don't want to hope, but you know, it's possible that we could all find ourselves in the same city for 3 months again at some point.
Thank you.